Hey guys, Gabe DeArmond here with you with the news. Williams Nwaneri, five-star recruit a year ago, freshman defensive end, expected to enter the transfer portal. We've got 100 people on here watching live with us. I put a quick video up on Power Mizzou. We've got a story on Power Mizzou with a message board post with the latest we know, but wanted to hop on here live with you guys and kind of talk about it. If you've got questions, if you want to kind of process this as it unfolds with us, put those in the chat, and certainly will do my best to address everything with you guys around this situation. Let me say first, he is not officially in the transfer portal yet. Now, that is likely to happen in the next 48 hours. When players decide to enter the portal, they have to file paperwork with the compliance office. And that generally takes somewhere around 48 hours, within 48 hours to
Apologize. I had the wrong microphone on. Hopefully this is working better now. Look, I've been doing 100 things. So anyway, hopefully you guys can hear me now. But the long story short, Williams Nwaneri expected to enter the portal, not in it yet. Probably will be within the next 48 hours. As soon as this news hit, I started checking with sources of mine, and the situation is, look, I mean, this is an NIL thing, right? I mean, largely. And that's not saying anything bad about Williams Nwaneri. This is college football, guys. If you like it when it works for your team, if you like getting Caden Green last year, you have to accept maybe losing Will Nwaneri this year. This is just how it goes. So Missouri is trying to, see if maybe this can be saved. If they can keep Will Nwaneri on campus. At this point, I would say skeptical that happens. I wouldn't think that Nwaneri is going to tell Hayes Fawcett he's entering the portal if he is not 100% going to enter the portal. That is what is expected at this time. It is not finalized. Probably my guess would be sometime tomorrow it will be. As soon as it is finalized, obviously everybody and his brother is going to have that. Is this a big deal? Well, yeah, it's a big deal. He was the number 6 player in the country a year ago. It was a huge win for Missouri to get him over, really over everybody in the country. Oklahoma and I believe Georgia was the other one that was certainly in play. So I'm just going to try to run through some of your guys' comments here and look at it. Dylan wants to know, how much does this have to do with Dylan Stewart's new reported deal? I don't know I haven't seen that. I've been so busy with the Mizzou stuff that I haven't really messed with other stuff. I don't know what Dylan Stewart is getting. Dylan Stewart is a freshman All-American. Dylan Stewart was one of the best defensive players in the SEC. Will Nwaneri redshirted. Look, none of these numbers are like publicly available. We don't know what Will Nwaneri got as a freshman. Have I heard things? Absolutely. Am I going to broadcast them publicly? No, because I don't know if they're true. But I will simply say, if the numbers I heard coming out of high school were anywhere near true, and Williams Nwaneri wanted more than that to come back after playing 4 games and making 2 tackles, I can kind of understand from Missouri side why maybe that would not be a deal that they would want to make. We'll see where it goes. Again, I think you probably would have to consider Oklahoma the favorite if he does go in the transfer portal, which means that Missouri would play him next year. I think this is a bigger deal PR-wise than it is on the football field. That's not saying that Nwaneri will not be a superstar like everybody thought he would be a year ago. He very well may be. But we told you guys all along coming into college, Williams Nwaneri was raw and he was a little bit of a project. It was not going to happen his freshman year. We expected him to play, honestly, a little bit more than he did. But we expected that because when you get a guy like that, you have to play him. I mean, it was never based on the fact that I thought he was going to be one of Missouri's 2 or even 4 best defensive ends as a true freshman. It was based on the fact that PR-wise, when you get that kid, he has to see the field or this could happen. Now, look, Nwaneri could have played 9 games and this could still happen. He could have started and this could still happen. So I'm not blaming Eli Drinkwitz or Corey Batoon or Brian Early. You put the best players on the football field. If Will Nwaneri was one of Missouri's 3 or 4 best defensive ends, he would have been on the football field. I'm fully confident in that. Obviously, the coaching staff didn't feel like he was on a consistent basis. That's why he played the amount he did. But again, this is what it is. Every kid in America is a free agent every single year. They're all going to try to renegotiate their deals. You don't have to like it. You do have to accept it. How much money is he demanding compared to what he was receiving? I don't know, guys. I don't know. Those numbers aren't shared with us. This would be a lot easier if this was the NFL, where we could report what Missouri's offer was, what Oklahoma's offer was, what he was asking. That's not a thing we can do. We don't know. I was told very early on in NIL, if you try to sunshine these numbers, they will be redacted. You won't be able to get them. So I have not even tried. Is Javion Hilson the replacement? Sure, ideally, yeah. They signed another 4 or 5-star defensive end, depending on who you look at. So let's go through the depth chart next year. Zion Young's coming back. He's going to start. Darius Smith's coming back from injury. If everything we heard about him in camp was true and he comes back healthy, he's probably going to start. Eddie Kelly, I think, is coming back. I think has another year. I'd have to look up my stuff, my eligibility chart. I don't know offhand, but I think he's back. Jalen Brown, as a true freshman, played. Missouri just offered DJ Warner. I believe it's DJ Warner. I'm sorry, guys. I'm doing 800 things. Anyway, defensive end at Kansas in the transfer portal was KU's highest rated recruit ever. You would think maybe that's because they heard about it. They knew this was possible. From what I understand, this became a thing really yesterday. And I obviously didn't hear about it yesterday. It's not like I heard about it yesterday and was sitting on it. I heard about it when you guys did this morning. And in checking around, this really started to kind of be a thing that was bubbling yesterday. Missouri was working on it, obviously. And it seems that those efforts are not quite going to be enough. Let's see. Another school I hadn't thought of that Connor brings up is Nebraska. They hired Jamar Mosey as his high school head coach. That is a possibility. The kid wants to play. Can't blame him for that. And look, that could certainly be a part of it. Like, I don't want to make this sound like it is purely money. I think that's a mistake we make in the NIL era. We just say, well, these kids all take the highest paycheck. That's not true. Now, look, a lot of them do. But it's not always the biggest one. Maybe it's, hey, I got what I got here and they're not playing me. So I'll go somewhere for the same amount or a little less or whatever, where I know I'm going to play. And that's fine. If that is part of his decision, certainly could be. Look, I've talked to Will Nwaneri about 2 times in my whole life. I don't expect to talk to him now. We'll try. I'll give it a shot, but I don't expect to get an answer on it. Let's see. Okay, Tim Grace is saying Dylan Stewart is reporting he got $1.5 million. If that's for 1 year, I'd be pretty surprised. But again, that kid was awesome. Like, I don't. No offense to Williams Nwaneri, we're not comparing Williams Nwaneri to Dylan Stewart right now. We just aren't. Panic scale of 1 to 10, 4. I know. Look, recruiting is PR, right? I've said this a million times. We don't know if 5 stars are going to be NFL players or if 2 stars are going to be NFL players coming out of high school. Now, we have ideas, we think, and usually on a broad scale, they turn out correct. But 5 stars bust and 2 stars excel every year. People are going to panic because of what this looks like publicly. And, hey, if you make as big a deal of getting him as everybody did at the time, then yes, it's a big deal when he leaves. But again, on the football field for next year, he'd have played. He'd have played more than he did this year. Would he have started? I really don't think so. Unless, now look, he's got 9 months till next season starts. Could make the leap, right? The question about him coming out of high school was a couple things. It was, does he have the motor to do it every down? And, just can he refine the technique? Like he's got NFL physical talent. Jamar Mosey compared him to Julius Peppers the day he committed. So he's got the talent. There's no question. Now, does he refine that between now and next year and make a major impact? Look, are we sitting here a year from now talking about Will at Nebraska or Oklahoma or somewhere else having a Dylan Stewart type season? It's not impossible. He's got the talent to do it. We'll see. But unless that happens, I don't know. It's a much bigger hit PR wise than it is on the football field right now. Chris says this happens at every school. No question, guys. Look, I mean, Zion Young was a good player at Michigan State. Was he Nwaneri as a recruit? No, but Chris McClellan was a huge recruit. Went to Florida for 2 years. He's here. Again, if you like it when you get those guys, this is the part you have to live with. I'm not saying you have to like it, but you do have to live with it. Let's see. Why would OU be considered the favorite if they wouldn't give him that money out of high school? Again, I don't know what the numbers are, guys. I don't know. I don't know what OU offered. I'm not going to do the sour grapes that some of our friends that cover other schools did a year ago. I don't know. We'll see where he goes. Maybe it's OU, maybe it's somewhere else. I'm going to remain kind of level-headed about this and just tell you guys what I can verify and what I am confident is going on. I'm not going to get into feelings because, frankly, I don't really have feelings about it. He's going to go where he's going to go. If he's back at Missouri, that's great. We'll cover him. If he goes somewhere else, good luck to him, and we won't cover him. I mean, that's it. That's about the extent of it, but I can't give you the numbers. They need to put a time commitment on these deals. Look, NIL deals are monthly contracts. Like they are written that way. If Nwaneri transfers and goes somewhere else, Missouri's not going to be paying him next month. I mean, that's how it goes. We're getting a lot of unrelated questions. Guys, Miller Moss's visit started 2 hours ago. No, I don't have any news. When we have news, I will let you know. Why don't they make the NIL deals multiple years where you have to pay to get out of them? Because those are contracts. These have to be written in very specific ways because of the rules in place. And also, I'll be honest, this is migrating coconuts question. Coaches don't want to make multi-year deals because you know what that means if you make multi-year deals? It means you can't be wrong on your evaluation. Because for every kid like Williams Nwaneri who is asking out himself, there are kids on every roster in the country that coaches are going, we were wrong. He's not good enough. We need his scholarship. He's got to go somewhere else. If you make the multi-year deals, you can't do that to the kid without paying him. So that's why. I mean, coaches complain about the transfer portal and this and that, but a lot of it's their fault. They don't want to have to commit to a kid for 3 or 4 years because what if that kid doesn't turn out to be as good as they think? Then they can't get out of it. That's part of the deal. Let's see. Lot of somebody's pointing out Walter Nolan happened last year. Like this happens all over. Morgan Cavender's asking about Kewan Lacey. Look, guys, there's speculation on our message board. I don't know. I've got messages out. I've heard nothing. If something happens, we'll let you know. To this point, I've not heard of anything happening. But look, I had 2 hours ago, I didn't expect Will Nwaneri to enter the portal either. So this is the world we live in. Like it, hate it, whatever. This is the world we live in. Dylan Bird says, does this change recruiting strategy when it comes to paying big time guys out of high school? The only way it changes is if the guys who actually provided that money come and say, hang on, we're not doing this anymore. We're only doing this for the kids who have proven it. This is like, look, guys, this is what NIL should be. I'm going to finish with this. So years and years ago, the rookies in the NFL, the first round draft picks, were getting these ungodly contracts, right? Sam Bradford gets drafted number 1 overall by the St. Louis Rams, gets, I forget, somewhere 50 some odd $1 million contract, which at the time was big. Now it's a year in the life of Juan Soto. But so he gets these huge deals, just like every other number 1 pick before him had gotten. And finally, the NFLPA said, this is stupid. We are giving all the money to these kids who have proven nothing, and the guys who have actually proven that they can play at this level are taking less. This is stupid. We're going to put a rookie salary cap in place. So college football, NIL is put into place. And there are only 2 rules about NIL. It can't be pay for play, and it can't be a recruiting inducement. You know what it is? It is pay for play, and it is a recruiting inducement. And that is it. If you need proof, look at Twitter, where these kids are literally tweeting, go to the volleyball game. That's part of their NIL deal. They're getting paid to tweet to tell you to go to Mizzou sporting events, or Oklahoma, or Texas, or University of Maine, or whatever. Missouri is not unusual in this. The money was all going to recruits and transfers. Like when NIL started, you know who should have gotten a lot of NIL money at Missouri? Isaiah McGuire, because he had done it here. You know who got big NIL money at Missouri? Williams Nwaneri. That's their choice. That's how they've chosen to do it. This is what comes with it. So yes, do I think it would be better if there was a system in place where the guys who are actually producing in college got the money, and the kids who are high school recruits who everybody's in love with because they're the next big thing had to actually prove it in college before they got the money? Absolutely, it would be better. Are we going to get there? I have no idea. I really, really don't. It might change. There are some thoughts that we're going to get a little bit better system in place, but as soon as we get that system in place, coaches and donors will break the rules and abuse that, and we'll have to react to that too. It is the history of college sports. It's just what we do. Got a comment that I feel like this is a great place to end, guys. Andrew Kessel, he caught us Nwaneri. Well done, my friend. Excellent dad joke to end. Like I said, just wanted to hop on with you guys, kind of let you know what I am hearing, what I know, which obviously is not necessarily a ton. But this is where we stand right now. If we get news that Will is actually in the portal, we certainly will report that. The transfer portal is taking over our lives. I was trying to go to the bank and the gym this morning when this broke. I'm back here sitting in front of the computer talking to you guys on YouTube. So that's where we're at. Stay tuned. Hang out with us over on the message boards, and we'll talk to you next time.